But what I'm in the mood for is still crapping on this useless trash movie, Venom, The Last Dance.
Damn, son.
And this is another clip I would like to show you from the movie itself, of course. And let's discuss. Let's discuss. And by the way, before I proceed, all these videos I'm doing about the Venom Last Dance movie will contain spoilers. If you intend to see the movie, evacuate the premises immediately. If you don't, let's have some fun, shall we?
We are currently cruising at a comfortable 31,000 feet. If you look out there to your left, just now you will see
Now,
the Grand Canyon.
this scene, you know what, let me let it play through, my bad.
Told you we could fly.
Oh my God!
Direct to New York.
My mouth is so dry!
And we clear your name.
It's so unpleasantly cold!
I wish this was done much better. I don't know why Venom chose to do this and leave him hanging like this. Yeah. What is currently going on here? This is not necessarily dangerous per se because Venom can't mistakenly slip off the plane. But what is putting Eddie Brock through doesn't make sense to me.
Does not compute.
I don't get why I was seeing this particular part of the scene before he suits up. It's like the writers aren't even thinking of the world anymore. It's what should we just throw in here to make people laugh or to seemingly make people laugh. And if you laughed at this, I'm not going to sit down here and say you're this, you're that. Hey, people laugh at different things. People find different things funny. This is jarring to watch. This is annoying to watch. I imagine the same way people loved making the tequila scene. That was very jarring and visually irritating to watch. This is visually irritating to watch. So this is a pointless thing to do to your host. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make, just stick to the plane, suit up, keep it going. But instead this scene was written a particular way, have him attached to the plane, bitch about it. How does Tom Cruise do this? He's cold. So Venom, by now, this is the third movie. Venom should be able to tell his heart's racing, his temperature is getting cool or is lowering. He might catch hypothermia or whatever. So suit up. And you should know these things by now because again, this is your main host. This is your dude. You've symbiotically bonded with this person. You should be able to tell when he's hungry, when he's anxious, when he's angry, when he's sad, when he's upset, when he's afraid. All these things you should know before he, the host, knows. So you could have written other jokes where this is one of the best ways to fly for free without having to pay and go through the metal scanner, check in, check out, luggage, all that stuff. You could still write those jokes and fit it in whilst he's suited up on the plane. But let's proceed.
How does Tom Cruise do this?
He doesn't.
See, so they just wrote that line in, or they just wrote this whole scene so you could have this. Oh God, let me take it back anyway because he's about to say something else that really pissed me off.
Pleasantly cold! How does Tom Cruise do this?
He doesn't whine like a little bitch.
See, you could have easily just been like this all this time. We wouldn't need all that. That scene was just filler and annoyance. Yappa, 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 just to get to the scene where you suit up. Whereas if you cut that part out, you still have him on the plane. He's suited up, and then he's talking to Eddie saying, yep, this is the best way to fly, first class. This is an experience that no one on the planet will ever have. There's ways you can still write jokes and humor whilst you're suited up. So we don't have to have that extremely cold. How does Tom Cruise do it? He doesn't whine like a bitch. Blah. It's just boring. That isn't funny. That's not funny. And you who's supposed to take care of your host, that doesn't make any sense. That's how you write humor. That's the only way you can create humor in this scene. I just added something there myself. You could argue you don't have to have this scene, but during the movie prior to this scene, they were talking about, okay, we can't even fly, we can't get on board a plane because the FBI and CIA and the SWAT is looking for us. So with that being said, this is the best idea they came up with. Fine. But since you're in a serious dilemma, you're being tracked down by CIA and FBI, you can still do the humor. Don't do it the way you just did it by having him attached to the plane, leaving his host bare, open to that high altitude. I'm surprised he's still breathing. What if Eddie had lungs or breathing problem?
Does not compute.
So one of the xenophages just tracked I won't say tracked Venom to Earth. I wouldn't say that, because just like Noel said in the previous video that I did, is sending them out to the corners or every corner of the galaxy. Noel didn't say the codex exists on Earth and the symbiote that has it is called Venom. Retrieve it from, Venom, and then bring it back to me and free me from my chair. He did not say that. So the creation or the existence of the codex, Noel is aware of. Now, I'm surprised myself, especially making the video now, that he didn't know the precise location of the codex. He just knows the codex is now being created. What? As I'm recording this video right now, I'm realizing even that part is stupid. You're sending these creatures out, these xenophages, to go and find the codex, to go and you scatter them to the corners of the galaxy and the universe. That means they're everywhere. They're on Mars, they're on Pluto, they're on Jupiter, they're on planet Arion, they're on planet Unmarian, Isurora. Wherever they are, they're everywhere. This one just happened to be sent to Earth as well. So that means it's one for every planet. So you know the codex exists, but you don't know specifically where it is sending its beacon out from. It's a weird design. I'm aware there's a ball out there because that ball has pinged on my radar, and it's only pinged on my radar because Eddie was about to die and then Venom saved him. So now that ball was then created. From that saving Eddie Brock's life by Venom, the ball is being created. It makes sense that the existence of the ball, or just the instant here I am, it makes sense to be like, wait a minute. It's now being created, so therefore where is it sent? Where is the signal coming from? Instead of sending all my xenophages to all the different parts of the galaxy, I can see the beacon. Where is that beacon coming from? You know, let's send every xenophage alive to that location where the beacon is pinging from. It only makes sense. But what do I know? I'm not a Hollywood writer. Yeah. Noel only knows about the existence of the codex because it's being created. But the fact that it's being created and its beacon, it's not pinging its exact location is strange to me. Why is that even a thing where here I am, but I won't tell you my precise location? So that then, therefore, you as a god who made the whole system, who made the symbiotes, and you created the concept of the codex within each symbiote, like I said in my previous video, the codex could have been created by any other symbiote who chose not to let its host die. But at the same time, it just so happens to be that it is our symbiote we're following in this movie that happened to bond with its host, Eddie Brock, and then the codex is made. And then we weren't even told by Noel himself, who's a god, that multiple codexes can exist, or only one codex can exist. We don't know that. You see how flawed this whole thing is? We don't know that.
Damn, son.
Because it doesn't make sense to me that out of all your children who left this place and survived and bonded with all the different hosts in all the different planets, not only human beings, so all the other different planets, all the symbiotes bonded to, you're telling me none of them lived long enough to save their host to then create the codex? Only Venom could pull that off? See? Weak writing. Weak writing. Let's proceed. So now the xenophage has noticed the beacon activated because Venom fully fully armored himself over Eddie. So the premise is when Eddie has the symbiote turned off, the xenophage can't see it. But when Eddie's in full Venom mode, this is how the codex blinks to the xenophage when it's seeking for it. Please tell me how the heck it leaped from that building, wherever that building is, because that's where they just came from, right? Venom and Eddie were tracking down some bad guys, and they just killed them and left. So you're in a city. I don't know how they got to the airport. They latched onto the plane when it took off and no one saw them. Fine. They're on the side of the plane. The plane is moving at a particular speed, but it's still moving fast enough, right? So after the xenophage tracked Venom armored, foot in Venom mode, Eddie in Venom mode, to a particular warehouse, they turn it off, or Eddie powers down to his normal self and then walks away. So it fast forwards to Eddie attached to the plane, and prior to that scene, That's where Eddie's like, we need to catch a flight to New York or whatever, or Las Vegas or whatever it is, so that way we can clear our names and or clear my name and let them know I'm not a criminal or fugitive, blah, blah, blah. And because they can't just go to the airport and flash his passport because he would get detained and arrested and all that stuff, they chose to go this route, blind the way that, attached it. It makes sense. So let me take it back one more time. And this scene got me so confused because I didn't understand how it jumped from that building and went straight for the plane. It can't fly. Do you know how strong you have to be to leap off the ground, alien or not, to catch a plane that took flight ages ago? Eddie latched onto that plane ages ago. Now, if you're saying the Xenophage tracked them all the way to the airport, that kind of makes sense. Kind of. But even that is highly unbelievable because they don't have any camouflage. That thing is huge. So how it went from place to place without people seeing it or hearing it, I almost said smelling it, but that's too much. So people seeing it or hearing it is beyond my comprehension. And when Eddie left that city or that town he was in, they were heading straight for the airport. But they didn't show a scene where the Xenophage tracked them both to the airport. Remember, it cannot see clear like we can. This is its vision. When it opens its eyes or when it's looking, it's this gray thing. It only sees this color when the codex is lit up. That's the only color it sees. It's the codex. So everything else is all gray. There's no distinguishing between symbiote within the person and symbiote on the person. There's no distinguishing. All throughout the whole movie, there was no color variation of saying, oh, this thing can spot when a person has a symbiote within them or attached onto them. But when Venom is fully activated on Eddie, that's when the Xenophage can lock onto the beacon. And even then, that's the only thing that turns or glows in color. Everything else is still gray. It would have made sense if the codex was given off a different color, but a full Venom suit on the host would have given off a different color also. That would have made some sense. But again, what do I know? I'm just a guy who's just reviewing what I'm watching. Let's proceed. That was not the airport, my dude. And if you look clearly, this is nighttime. Where's the sun here? Where's the sun here? This ain't no daytime. This is nighttime. So he you're saying he left the city where the clocks are behind and caught up with the plane in one jump.
Don't bullshit me.
In one jump. Come on, guys. Come on. One jump? Nah, that doesn't make any ounce of sense. What? One leap. He jumped off. It's nighttime. I don't see any sun rays, any grass, and any hint that it's daytime wherever the Xenophage just left. Whatever location the Xenophage just left, it doesn't look like it's daytime. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you feel. Is this daytime? Does this feel like daytime to you? Is this 2 p.m., 4 p.m., or 3 p.m., or 1:30 p.m.? Let a brother know in the comments.
What was that?
What? So now everyone on the plane heard that. But when it was parading the whole city, you're telling me no one heard all that noise? No police came out to check nothing? There was no scene of someone calling the police saying there's someone in my house or something on my roof, it's loud, or different neighbors calling and saying there's something up? It doesn't have any camouflage. It would have made sense if it camouflaged itself. That would have been cool. And it would have been so cool if it's like one of those hunter creatures that not only can it camouflage, it can walk on the floor and keep its the impact on the floor silent. That would have made it feel like, yo, this thing is a dangerous creature. Meaning you don't want this thing tracking you because you can't even hear it coming, let alone see it coming because of its whole camouflage or invisibility cloak, whatever thing its scales can camouflage. And it will make it worse. You can't hear this thing coming, but the jumping from a building to catch the plane is a bit much. Absolutely far-fetched. Yeah. This is stupid. This is stupid. Let's proceed.